Alright, I'm out in my garage that's attached to the house today, and if you can see this gasket right here, it should be over to here. And I don't think that the gasket is bad. If I was in Michigan, this would probably be shot. No cracks in it. And I think what I can do is loosen these screws here and these screws all the way down and stretch this thing back into position. And that's what I'm going to attempt. I'm working out here in this other garage today because it's so hot. Once again, the real feel out here is like 111 degrees. And if you look at that plant right there, you can see how far the shade is over there. That plant was totally drooping just a little while ago, and now it's coming out of the sun. It's starting to come back around. These plants, because the air is so hot, it tries to conserve enough water in the roots to keep it alive. And that's what's happening. But right now it's starting to recover, and that's a good thing. But a lot of the plants around here do that. Some of these other ones, like that was there, the Mandevilla, I think it's called, the red flowers over there, they like the hot sun and it never droop. But let's get back to what I'm working on here. So here's a picture of what it looks like on the outside. It's kind of dirty, but like I said, there's no cracks in this. It's pretty pliable. I think it just shrank from heating and cooling. In Michigan, if this was the gasket up there, this probably would have been cracked because it freezes. This would freeze and thaw and freeze. And sometimes it get stuck to the ground, and it would rip that. Eventually, you know, this would all be hanging down. But down here, I think it's just the heat beating on the door. It just shrinks it. So I'm going to shut this off and get it lined up, and then I'm going to start loosening up all the screws. So hold on. I'll wipe the dirt off of it. It's got quite a bit of dirt on it. We've had a lot of rain the last few days. The backside's really good. Alright, so I'm going to loosen up. On the backside here, there's Phillips screws that hold this metal. There's a metal plate on back of the side of this. I'm going to back the screws up. They're not very long either. Takes the tension off the rubber piece. I might have to put some soap on it. This is Alright, I got all the screws. They're spaced about 2 feet apart, and I got all those loose. And then there's some screws here that go through the hinge, or the roller, I mean. And I'm going to back them up, I think. I want to open that up as much as I can to pull that through. If everything works out like planned, it'll pull back together. Now, why would you put a screw with a different slot in it? These are torque screws on this very end, and one of them is smaller. That's unusual. I don't know what that's about. Huh. It's more than that. It's a security screw. Got a little tab in the center of it. All right, we're going to see if we can move it. I need a screwdriver down here. So what they've done, there's a metal rail there's a metal rail in here, right here, and goes the full length of the door. And down here on the very end, on this end, which you can't see, of course, they crimped it over. They kind of peened it down on the end of the gasket where the gasket's supposed to be anyways. And I'm going to try to spread that out a little bit. Yep, got it. This might be harder than I think. But we're going to try it. I think I'm going to get me some soap. Or some spray of some sort. Get some water in here and some. The reason I want to fix this is because there's that little crack down there on the ground is giving our cat some entertainment, because he comes out in the garage and we've had salamanders without tails, and I think we've had some of the little furry mice in here, and he spends a lot of time hunting out here, but we don't need them in here because this is attached to the house. All right, I might need some gloves. Now let's try it without the rag on there. If this doesn't work, then I'm probably going to have to replace it. It's moving. Stand down here a little more stubborn. Get a little more soap on it. This is where all the dirt's at. You'd think it'd be easy. And this is a Wayne Dalton door. You want to look and see what the gasket looks like. It's actually got kind of U-shaped, and on the end of each one of these is a knob or that slides into the slot, and that's what I'm trying to do, is slide it back that way. And it wants to move down on this end, but on the other end it's not moving. It doesn't want to move in this area. That helped. And if you're going to replace it, it's pretty much the same thing. You got to take it apart and get the old one out, which has got to slide in. You probably can maybe take the bottom off. I'm not sure, but the replacement still got to be slid in. I gained about an inch so far. Look what the biggest thing is. Try to get the dirt out of on the side here. Again. It'd probably be easier if it had two people, because two people pulling on it, it's probably moving a lot farther. And I don't think I could pull that gasket out without going all the way down to the end. Oh wait, maybe. Is that going to help me or not? We're going to try it. Yeah, I can pull it on the outside. I can pull, let me show you. So I can pull, see the rounded part there? I can pull it on the outside, I can pull it out of the groove, but on the inside I can't. I was thinking maybe like pulled it down and then I could slide it back in. That don't look like that's going to be possible. The reason I can pull it on the outside is because I'm getting a lot of soap into it. That's maybe. I'm stretching it in this area here. About an inch and a half to go, maybe 2. Whew. We'll put that back up in there. What I don't want to do is tear it. Tear this little brown part. All right, she's back in place. A little bit. Got one right here. All right, let's go down here. Scoop it up again down here, where I need it to slide. I'll keep this end. I'm cleaning the up alongside of it to get as much of the dirt out of there I can get. That seems to be the part that's helping. Okay. Whew. Even in the shade, it's hot. Oh yeah. It moved. Bunching up. I moved it quite a bit that time. Down here where I pulled it out, it's not all the way in. I'm going to lower the door down a little bit. All right, I've lowered the door down. I've got about 1-inch gap on the right side over here. It really needs to go just a little bit farther than that, maybe 1.5 inches. But this thing is moving. And it's wearing me out, but I'm getting closer. I wanted to lower it down so I can get a little bit better push in it, put my weight into it. From about here down, I have the most movement. It's still stuck down there, so let me pull this as far as I can. A 1/2 inch would put the gasket to where it's sealing along the edge of the door. Actually, on the ceiling anyways. And it is moving down here now. Oh boy, it's a long ways down there. If I had a way to hold it from this end, from pulling back. It's still tight on the far end. Starts loosening up right about here now. Okay, now it's actually bunching up down here. Gotta check the end of that. Yeah. So what's happening down in this end is I'm pulling the gasket out of the hole. I might have to break the door apart to fix it. Hope not. Just got to pop back in the hole there in the slot. Well, that made a difference. Okay, so what happened now? Now that it's not holding down there, it slid back. How am I going to fix that? Didn't slide back all the way, but it slid back some. Slid back about 1/2 inch because all the push that I pushed, it was being held in position up here. Still be good if I could get this end down here working. Let me try it again. Still getting a lot of dirt out of it. Right about there. So what is happening is down on the left end, because it doesn't want to slide, I'm pulling against it. It's like a rubber band, so I pull on it, and I'm stretching it from probably about here to the far end of the door. I can stretch it that far down, but with this end holding on to it, it's like pulling a rubber band. It's going to want to pull some of it back. And I only need to go not very much more left. I just need to break that loose a little bit down on that end, and I think I'll have it. I got it a lot better than what it was. It was a 3-inch gap, and now I'm down to about a 1/2 inch. Oh, that made a difference. Okay, let me get my screwdriver, because I got to pull it down there and tighten the bolt. I think it'll hold it in place. That made a big difference. So there's a gasket along the right side of the door that runs up and down. I'm beyond that. But when I let go of it, it wants to come back a little bit. And I'm gonna try down here just a little bit more. I only need a little bit less so that it doesn't have tension on it in between here. So let's see what I can do. Oh yeah, I'm into the hinge or the track now. So I need to tighten this down. Okay, there's a metal piece on the back. I think I showed you that, and those screws don't have anything to do with the gasket. Neither does the roller. It doesn't hold it into place. It looks like what holds it in place is one, being in position and not having tension on it, and the other thing is there's they crimp it on the end of the door in that track. They kind of hit it with a hammer and probably a screwdriver or something to bend it in. So I'm going to try to get this back in position where I want it, and I'm going to try crimping it right here, back in this area, and see if that'll hold it in place. This is, like I said, this is a two-man job, because I can't be pulling and hammering at the same time. If I had something I could hold it there. That didn't do it. It's funny how much elasticity this has, that it can stretch so good. It tells me this is not wore out anyways. As soon as I let go of it, it springs back. What I'm going to try to do is crimp that. We're going to have to we got to take tension off of it. I got to keep pulling on it. Whew. Yeah, it's coming back to the same spot. I got to get this loosened up down here. And the gasket's pliable to about here, and then down here it starts firming up. Okay, once again I've got it there, but it's pulling back. Not as much, but it's still, I mean, that would be acceptable there. The hole would be closed. You can see it slowly moving back. Moving back down to that end. Whew. It's wearing me out, and I'm in the shade. All right, let me show you what I got. It's getting ready to rain. I made some improvements. Eventually, I think I'm going to have to replace it. I just wanted to get it closed off for now. So, come around here. So, as you can see right here, maybe. Let me get a little bit closer. There, you can see the rubber gasket now is way over here. Here's the end that I'm trying to pin over, hold it in place. I probably could put a screw in there, but I don't know if that would work. But I stretched it all the way down to here. And like I said, it's much better. I don't have this, the gap here was about from here, this much was gap, where things could come under the door. Right now, if it would stay there, it'd be perfect. And it's not going back like it was. Before, I'd pull it down here and it would come back to about here, and then I got it so it would come back to here. And now I'm about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the frame itself. If I could go just a little bit farther, I'd be really happy. But I'm not down on that end. This is hard. Let's go down here and look at this. So, tripod. Oops, sorry about that. So here, there's flexibility in here. See? And then when I get down to here, this gets really hard. Much harder, and it doesn't have any give. So I think that's what the problem is. This is probably what gets hit by the sun mostly. Okay, I came up with an idea. If it don't get rained out here, I'm going to try this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these vice grips, these welding clamps, and I'm going to clamp it down there on that end. And then I'm going to use a strap, this strap, to try and pull this that part down there that's tight, I'm going to try to pull it this way. This thing should slide in and out of here easily, but because of the debris that's in it and because of the aged and hardened down here, it's giving me a little problem. I think we can fix it. Get down here as far as I can. Whoops, I just lost it. I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but it's there. Again, thought we were done with it. So it's set up. Hopefully you get in there, brother. Might get. Go get a chicken or something. So this is either going to work really well, or it's going to fail really good. It's moving. I need some soap. I'm running into my strap down here. All right, I got to back up. I stretched it up into my strap that I'm using to hold the other end. So I got to relocate it. I've got this wrapped around the end of the door, and I'm going to have to move it down a little bit, I think, but I'm afraid it'll hold, I guess. Afraid I'm going to pull the frame too much. If I pull it too far down, it's going to pull it out. Let's try that. We're going to reattach. Like I said, this is either going to work or it'd be an attempt, a good attempt. And I'm down here where it's not moving very easily. And it wants to move now. So the thing about this gasket, if you buy a new one, it needs to slide in easily. And so this one really should be sliding out easily. It's moving. It's hard to believe, but it is. This is the part that's hard down here. And, I'm going to shut her down for a little bit because I don't want to get hit by lightning out here. Got a storm coming again. Hard to believe I got blue sky to my right and clouds to the left. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. The storm's gone by. It's still cloudy out here, but that lightning was hitting everywhere around me. So this worked. Believe it or not, this clamping onto here, that worked. And I used this strap, came down here, and I had this this strap, if you can see it. It's like I use that for holding motorcycle handlebars to strap the bike onto a trailer. And if you can see, I see if I can get you on the end of here. It's pretty. Anyways, here is the end of the gasket, and you can see here's the other seal on the door. I'm beyond that. And when you get down here, what they tell you to do is roll, get it far enough out, and then roll the end of this inside to the seal. And see how pliable this is here? That's why I didn't replace it, because it's really in good shape. On the other side, see, and it's not as pliable. from the sun and the dirt and everything right down here. And one thing to show you how much it's worked, let me get the cobwebs off here. I pulled it enough that I pulled it too far down here, so this piece is now moving, but I'll fix that. I had a 3-inch gap here. It was all the way, probably about that far, where rodents could get in here. So I'm going to release the tension on this strap and probably come back down here and pull the opposite way down into here to close that back up. Probably one of the biggest problems, you can see the end of the door down here is dirty. I got a downspout right there, and I even had, you can see where I patched here to make the water run away from the garage. So it was actually leaning in, and that's where all that's coming from. But it's pliable. It actually starts getting pliable right about here, right where I got my clamp. It still bends here, but it gets really firm right here. So about to last probably 2, maybe 30 inches of the door. So that's that. I didn't know if it was going to work or not, but sometimes you just got to try stuff, and that's what I did here. So I'll take this all apart and shut this video down for the day and get out of here, because I don't know that we're not going to get another rainstorm. And so I got that on there. I got to loosen that up some more. So thanks again for watching. I know this is probably not engine stuff and whatever, but this is part of what the maintenance has to do when you own a house. I could have replaced this gasket, but I still would have had to pull the thing through. You can buy that seal for about, well, this here was going to be about $23 plus tax, so maybe $25, $26 to replace that. And I didn't need to, because this thing's still flexible. The problem is I would have to pull this old one out and then pull the new one in, so I still would have had the same amount of work. So once again, thanks for watching, and give me a thumbs up and let other people know.